The lone survivor of an onslaught of flesh-possessing spirits holes up in a cabin with a group of strangers while the demons continue their attack. Tonight on Survive the Night podcast, we're discussing Evil Dead 2. Okay, it's finally here. We finally get to talk about Evil Dead 2. I'm so excited. Oh,
Dead
it's like
by dawn.
it's like when you have to eat your veggies before you get dessert as a child. Like, we sat through Crimewave, and now what we get is Evil Dead 2. So
One of the
I'm
best
stoked.
horror movies ever made.
Yes.
All timer. All timer.
So, I remember saying how I think maybe my opinions on which one I like more is going to change between Evil Dead 1 and 2. Mm-hmm. And after watching Evil Dead 2 again, I can, without a doubt, completely say I still prefer Evil Dead 1 way more. It just has more stuff that I care about. Evil Dead 2 is the funner watch at any point, though.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's
true.
Watching it again, I'm like, this is just super fun, but like, it's less intriguing in every way, mostly, except for like, man, the weird things they do with prosthetics and stop motion stuff in this is insane. They just do some dumb, crazy shit, which is super fun.
I also just think some of the way that like Ash is under attack, like psychologically in this movie, is kind of more interesting to me. And that like ties into his having to fight his own hand.
The problem, you are 100% right. The problem is that that's less time than I realized in hindsight of the movie. Because after that part is done, it takes a dive for me when they start introducing the fodder, essentially, and like Annie and them.
Yeah, the other characters are not as good. That's true.
Yeah, but when it is just Linda and Ash right at the beginning, so I guess like right from the get-go, that's kind of the first weird difference, is that they're like, it's kind of a remake, kind of a retelling. I almost kind of think of it as like a parallel dimension or like a multiverse type thing. Like, this is another version of the same thing happening to these people. But like in this one, it's just Linda and Ash almost kind of like breaking and entering in a cabin that they found or something for like a weekend out. And I guess I overlooked that the other times I've watched this, but straight up at the beginning, Linda's like, what if the owners come home?
Yeah, I know. He's just like, don't worry about it.
How did I overlook that?
It is super weird.
Yeah, it's insane. But I kind of like the more personalized story that gets told, because it is just a dude and his girlfriend out in the woods for, I don't know, half an hour to 40 minutes or something, like, of the runtime. The beginning.
It's not that long. It's like,
it's the beginning quarter-ish. Yeah.
Because they have to redo plot stuff to set it up, because they didn't own the rights to their own movies. They couldn't include clips.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's kind of weird, because they do the same stuff, but they do it in almost like a montage sequence. That's 5 minutes.
It's so funny to me, like the stuff that they care about, like that's like, oh, we gotta nail this part in continuity, and the stuff they don't give a shit about.
It's super arbitrary.
Like, gotta bring back that exact necklace. Gotta have Ash in a blue shirt. But those other two characters, nah, don't worry about it.
The necklace is insane. That is, I have a feeling that was almost like an inside joke or something between them. Because that is so, it has no reason this time at all to be in there.
No. Like,
so, yeah.
Do we even see him give it to her? It's not in the same way.
No, she just has it.
She just has it? Yeah.
We just noted there is a scene where he like looks at it on her for like a minute.
Yeah.
And that's about it.
Like after he's buried her.
Yeah, it's almost like a wink or something to like, see, remember? It's like, okay, yeah, I get it, Sam. Hilarious. I get it. Yeah, no, it's super fucking stupid. But so here's the thing. You are 100% correct. The whole beginning stuff with like, they kind of just kill her off almost in the exact same way. And he like buries her or whatever. They kind of do like a quick montage of like possessed, head decapitated, buried, dead.
Gotta redo that same like shovel shot of him swinging the shovel.
But sillier. Because it's like it is very obviously a mannequin falling apart now.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
The silliness is definitely up all around.
Yeah. Right from the get-go, you just kind of know too, because the way he's acting is like he's doing the eyebrow dancing and like funny faces. Actually, Aaron brought up a good point that I never even considered before. He has very Jim Carrey like facial acting qualities in this movie. Which is kind of insane. He just does like the weird rubber facing, essentially, a whole lot. And yeah, just right from the get-go, it kind of sets the tone with him not being misogynistic, but being more like plant some sugar on me, baby type stuff. But like
that, like literally that line,
something like that,
burned into my brain.
Yeah, it's something just stupid like that. Not in the same douchebaggy way as as the heel in Crimewave, but definitely silly.
It's definitely
silly.
They've definitely changed his character from the first movie.
Yeah, he's more of a caricature now.
Yeah,
yeah,
where he was like really like out of his depth and scared in the first movie.
Yeah. Not to say that he isn't in this, but
he's definitely out of his depth. Yeah. But
yeah, for sure. So they kind of fast forward through Linda possessed, dead, buried, done. And then this is kind of where the movie's like stops being, hey, remember the old days. And this is like, okay, this is our new take on it, where the demon just like, in the first person perspective, grabs him and just starts like shoving him through the woods and through trees and stuff and spinning him around and shit like that.
Yeah, it goes directly from that final shot of Evil Dead where they ran Bruce Campbell over with a motorcycle to like him being strapped to the fucking camera and like spinning him around like he's on a wheel.
For like a longer time than I remembered in my memory. That scene lasts a good 30 seconds straight.
And just like thinking about like how the fuck did they do this? Like goddamn.
It's
they just fucking did that. They just strapped him to that fucking camera.
Yeah.
Or like to a contraption that the camera was attached to or whatever.
Yeah. And
he like just lands into that tree in that fucking weird angle where they like drop the mannequin into that puddle.
Into the puddle with like little air bubbles blowing out at random intervals. That whole scene is very, very cool. And it's kind of like our introduction into, oh, right, this has people behind it now. Because they do the prosthetics to show like evil Ash or possessed Ash at this point. And it's like, oh, right, I forgot. This is kind of where everything that you think about with the Evil Dead series starts is here, actually.
Oh, yes.
Like unless you're you and you think about milk coming out of claymation bodies as Evil Dead stuff, then that starts in one. But like the weird voices, Henrietta and all of the backstory stuff, Annie in general, that whole character, Ash and like really the possession stuff, the hand, this is all starting here. This is kind of like the quintessential shit.
Way more of like the pop culture iconography of the series.
Yes,
exactly. Like it's like, you know, the Street Fighter 2 in that way, just like having way more of the stuff that became what people think of the series as. I mean, totally. I don't want to like, I feel bad because I'm like Evil Dead 1 is better than Street Fighter 1 comparatively also, obviously, but you know.
Yeah. But it is kind of the same thing of like the similarities between these is that you fight and you have Ryu in there. Otherwise, this thing is the thing that made it into pop culture.
Yes. Like this is the one.
And that was immediately just like, oh, right. And that shot where it just shows like fucked up Ash or possessed Ash is like, oh, right. This is where it all starts. Like, yeah. Okay.
There's a thing. There is a thing throughout this whole movie of like the continuity of like cuts on Bruce Campbell's face is all over the place from like any given scene to another. And it's like, it could be a nitpick, but like as a person who just really loves this movie and finds it charming, I just find it I love staring at it in like every scene. Is just like how they like sort of redid where his cuts were, but also like it doesn't look the same at all. It's a weird kind of thing where it's like it's just charming to me, even though it's like technically bad or whatever.
Sure, they straight up just use different blood.
Yes,
like you can tell some of it is literally just food coloring in water. Some of it is definitely the fake blood with the corn syrup to make it thicker. It's all completely different, like batches of blood, and it doesn't look the same in any shot. It's great. It's fantastic. Yeah. Also weirdly, his face stays really bloody for how many times he has stuff sprayed on it. Which is weird to me. But yeah, no, and we get kind of like a new thing too, where it becomes day, because that's like at dawn when he gets pushed through the woods or whatever, and the sunlight breaks, and we kind of get like this first new idea of, okay, this demon actually only can attack at night or only has power at night. The sun made it like draw back or whatever, wherever it's from. We get the great bridge thing again with like the claw, even though like we get the outward shot of like the both sides, and it's just obviously an illustration.
Yeah. You got a classic no.
Yeah, that shit is great. I'm really glad like the continuity of the bridge is fantastic. It's like the exact same shape.
that claw, like
the claw
thing of how it's fucked up. That's so good.
Yeah.
But it is funny. Like if you've seen the first movie, you're like, Ash should fucking know the bridge is out.
Totally.
Because we're into like the new movie at this point.
Yeah, no, totally. Yeah, it's weird. The Oldsmobile is, of course, front and center, same car. I guess it's not even worth saying because like it's the only car I think in this besides the one that they pick up Annie from the airport in. And yeah, the best part of the movie then happens here where he starts getting attacked again by the demon because it becomes dusk or whatever, and it's chasing him. And he drives back to the cabin, essentially trying to get away from it, and is running away from it. And this is where the psychotic break happens, and this is the best part of the movie to me, by far. The scene where he's looking into the mirror is so fucking good, legitimately, in a way that isn't like self-masturbatory or like pretentious or anything like that. Like it still fits within kind of the goofy feel, but it's so clearly like well done as a like psychotic break moment. And then how it kind of shows him being choked by himself from the mirror with that like transition to him doing it.
That cut is so fucking good.
It's so clean. It's so fucking good. Yeah. Yeah. Like, it's amazing how you can have such stupid shit happening and then just realize this guy has like this guy really does have an eye. Like, this is some talent. how to do some of these shots or whatever. It's super cool.
But like, yeah, like they do it because they do it like twice of like shit happening to Ash and then cutting to him just being somewhere else. Like they cut to him being in the chair.
Yeah.
Another time, like that shit just fucking hits so fucking hard. It's like
really good.
Oh man.
Yeah.
In a nightmare. In a way that like once you have other characters around, it doesn't work because you can't anymore just like cut that way for one person.
Yeah, no, for sure. It goes from like a weird nightmare escape. This is why I thought, oh yeah, Raimi doing Multiverse of Madness with Doctor Strange. That makes sense because he kind of does weird nightmarish escape type shit like this anyway. Like he's good at this sort of thing. And yeah, so the scene where everything is laughing at him is hilarious.
That's the scene that lives in my brain forever. Where just everything starts laughing at him and then he just has to laugh along with it. He has nothing, there's nothing else he can do.
Yeah, it's equal parts like slapsticky funny and actually like super creepy and disturbing, where it starts off hilarious and silly, but then at the moment where he starts breaking and laughing and doing a little jig in the middle of the room of things laughing at him, it's like, oh, this is insane.
He's like bending down with the lamp in unison and then laughing again.
Yeah, absolutely insane.
And like just into like him crying. Oh, it's so good.
I think we have to talk about how we talk a lot like, about Sam. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but that's like sanity meter, like done like the best I can think of in terms of just like this character is just fucking done.
He's done. Yeah. We talk a lot about Sam Raimi himself. Bruce Campbell does amazing psychotic break shit in this movie in a way that maybe gets overlooked a lot, considering he's not, like at this point, he wasn't still really an actor, like in the same way that he's not like, I don't know, he didn't go to Juilliard and he wasn't on the stage or anything like he was his buddy, the director's buddy.
I mean, his performance in this reminds me of like a Buster Keaton in a silent movie. Like it's so much of it is physical performance.
It's so vaudevillian,
being
like
there.
insane. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And he's like, overacting to the material in a way that really works.
In a way that I don't think even can be trained. This is like the acting of somebody who grew up watching too many Three Stooges.
Sure,
and like,
totally. Yeah.
Yeah, and is replicating that, but it works because luckily the dude who's putting this all together also grew up watching an equal amount of the Three Stooges, so they work in unison.
They're just vibrating on the same frequency, and it comes together
in a way that I don't think this is. I think this might be even. I think we just talked through the problem I have with basically any other characters in any of these Evil Dead movies with Raimi acting or directing. Is they're not on that same page as Bruce and Sam are, which is why they work so well together. The director and the main actor together, like I think they work so well. You bring other characters in, they feel like they don't fit in some way.
Yeah, totally.
This gets a little. This is kind of like me just remembering and not even spoilers, but my prediction. I think this gets a little bit better in Army of Darkness, where there are a few other people that they're not necessarily on the same like stoogey wavelength, but they play such good, honest, straight men to that they naturally work, where there's no good straight men in this. Really. You have like a hick and some preppy boy who's just there to basically be killed right away. So yeah, I don't know. It's just kind of interesting how much better those two work together and how maybe it hinders some of the other people that I bet it's a nightmare working with these two. Like the type of thing where you're hanging out with your buddy who's like with his like other buddy or something, and they're like having conversations and just like, oh, it's just inside jokes, you had to be there or something. You're like, yeah, great. I'm really glad I'm hanging out with you guys. Really happy to be here. So yeah, all of this part is just fantastic though. The mental break, the solo stuff. And then we kind of get, I have a feeling, well, first of all, this whole movie was based on studio personnel giving advice. I guess Ivan Shapiro or whatever his name is. This whole movie is based on that because this was going to be Army of Darkness to begin with. Sam wanted to do the medieval horror type thing. But then we get kind of like backstory characters, which seems like, why would they have Annie at all in here? Doesn't make sense to me.
We have to have someone show up with pages of the Book of the Dead because we just burned the Book of the Dead.
Yeah, like I guess. I don't know. It just seems like you have something real special with the Evil Dead, kid. You just got to add more story, more feeling, add a family in there or something. It's like, really? I don't think you need that. I kind of didn't think you needed the fodder characters, but whatever. I get it, I guess. It's probably really hard to write a movie that's about an hour and a half long with one character just losing their mind and make it entertaining in the way that you want to make kind of like a slapsticky or horror thing. So, you know,
like if they had if they could have like just, you know, included the other three characters from the first movie and maybe have them also get purged or at points or something, maybe that would have been better. I don't know.
Yeah, it's hard to say. This is also the part that is like the quintessential Evil Dead thing that people remember. The hand being possessed, everything to do with the hand thing.
So
First of all,
good.
First of all, I'll bring it back because this has become the recurring theme. Sam Raimi hates hands. I don't think I need to explain the scene that I'm talking about because it is most of this fucking movie. It's the hand. Yeah. So when it first gets possessed and it's kind of like kicking the shit out of him or whatever, just there's so many really, really good scenes of him at the sink kind of almost knocked down, the hand just like breaking plates over his head.
Oh, it's fucking amazing. Smashing shit over his own head over and over again.
It's so good. When he's knocked out, the hand just like slowly like inching his whole body to the butcher's cleaver and making a weird grunting sound like it has a mouth or something.
Yeah, like the noises it makes are so fucking good.
Yeah.
If it's talking. I fucking love like when it's possessed, it's the way Bruce Campbell is like so fucking like hurt. It's like, you took my hand.
Give me back my head or whatever. Yeah.
It's like, not the fucking this too. But then like the glee with which he fucking cuts it off. Oh my god. The who's
it's
laughing
so
now.
Man, it is so good. Just stabs it to hold it down.
The editing of like, oh, it's this butcher knife. It's definitely going to be this butcher knife. And the hand like almost there. And then the fucking dagger right into it.
Yeah.
The kitchen knife.
Yeah, that's some
into
good
the chainsaw. Oh my god.
There's some, I mean, just straight up, some more Sam Raimi just classics here. First of all, the hand crawling, and like Sam Raimi really likes hands scratching and clawing at the ground as if, first of all, it's going to stop something from pulling you, or if like you're trying to like get somewhere. He loves doing stuff with hands like crawling or whatever. So there's that. He really likes hands getting hurt in some way. This whole scene is that, essentially. Later on, and Sam Raimi hates eyeballs. Later on, there's an eyeball part we'll talk about.
Yes.
But it's all here. Everything you've come to know and love about this guy, it's all here. But yes, the glee of him just like cutting off his hand and then putting it under a bucket with a bunch of books, including A Farewell to Arms, is so just like chef's kiss.
Farewell to Arms. Oh, and the way Bruce Campbell's like, welcome to your new home or whatever. Like, it's
There's a scene like right after that where he's like, I can't remember if he's like freaking out and against the floor or whatever, and in the background you just see like the bucket slowly like move out of the screen. Yeah, it's so good.
Funny.
Everything to do with the hand is masterclass in just dumb sight gags.
Yes.
So yeah, super, super good. Anytime it cuts to the other group, I die inside. I sleep. Because this is where like it starts cutting between them, and he gets off the plane saying like, look, I found pages to the book my father was studying, the Necronomicon or whatever. Oh, well, his cabin's only an hour away. Let's get going, and blah blah blah. And meets up with the Hicks where the bridge is out, and they have a new way. And anytime it just goes to like them, I sleep. I don't care. I'm so bored. I hate them. I hate them so much. Annie's the only one that's worthwhile because she has like a part to play in all of this. But yeah, it feels like it just cuts away at the worst times where I'm just like really stoked to be hanging out with Bruce. Then it cuts away to them getting Annie from the plane or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is kind of interspersed with everything we've been talking about of his like slowly going crazy. Linda's head biting him, which kind of causes all of this to begin with. We get that awesome shot of him, first of all, using the vice in the workshop to hold her head down while he like completely annihilates it with the chainsaw. The blood spewing onto the light bulb, causing everything like to be this weird red.
The fucking her like decapitated body mannequin coming in with the chainsaw.
Yeah, and just like dancing around before.
It's just like this mannequin's just like bouncing around. It's like they've got it like on one stick that they're like shoving forward or whatever.
It's so funny. All of it is so funny.
Cause it's like he goes to reach for the chainsaw and it's not there, and then the cut to the headless body bursting in. Like it fucking went in there, grabbed the chainsaw, like snuck out, and like turned
just
it on
to ambush him.
So funny.
And then the best part about it is that it just like kills itself essentially with the chainsaw, and that whole part is just fucking hilarious. It is so fucking funny.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna, it bears repeating, I love the shot of the blood getting on the light and turning everything the horror crimson for that moment. It's just so good.
Yeah.
And everything to do with Linda's head is hilarious. Just the acting of an obvious like mannequin head taped or glued to his hand or whatever, and just like throwing it around as if it's like hurting him is so fucking good.
Her fucking changing back into like real Linda.
Yeah.
And like saying, "Don't hurt me, Ash," and him is like, "Fucking Darth Vader, no."
Yeah. Also, we glossed over it, but you're right. Where he goes to reach for the chainsaw, there's just like an outline drawing of a chainsaw.
Yes. It's so good. Like, like the way that's cut together is so fucking good.
Yeah, it's so good. And so, is this really just the first like half an hour? Everything we're talking about before like the other people get there? It has to be at least the first 40 minutes, right? First half?
Oh yeah, for when they show up at the cabin, yeah, it's gotta be.
Okay. Because that first half is great. That is like what I come here for. Honestly, after that, I think it takes kind of a downhill turn, and it feels kind of bad even saying that. I still have fun with it. I have to make it clear that I really like this movie, but it is so much less interesting to me after they show up, just in general. It becomes more of a kind of standard creature feature flick at that point, or like zombie movie or something, which is just inherent. Like, I've seen The Evil Dead. That's why I'm here. You got me with this stuff. And yeah, I don't know. They like turn on him. They get a little more exposition about Henrietta being in the basement. Henrietta is great, I will say, though. Like, yes. I think Henrietta is pretty good in a way that I didn't remember. Like, I didn't remember Henrietta being anything special, but I'm a big fan. I will say, on rewatch, I liked Henrietta a lot. And yeah, they really go crazy. They go definitely more crazy with the possession stuff than I remember. There is so much possession porn in this movie. That's kind of like the thing.
Yeah, it's very funny to me that they just completely go back on him having the professor having chopped up his wife, whereas like in Evil Dead 2, they're just like, no, he couldn't do it. Yeah.
So he just threw her in the fruit cellar or whatever.
Just buried her in the basement. Yeah.
that reveal of Henrietta coming out and being like, somebody's in my fruit cellar or whatever. It's like, oh God.
That's all Ted Raimi, right?
It's all Ted Raimi possessed. Henrietta is Ted Raimi. It's so funny.
Very funny.
Yeah. She's great. He's great. They're great. Henrietta is great. Yeah. And this is another thing I just forgot because of memory and stuff. Henrietta is really the like Dead by Dawn person, because for some reason I always get for some reason, it's obvious why, I get 1 and 2 parts mixed up a lot in hindsight. And it was, for a long time, I thought like that whole thing was in one, but one was the other thing. I can't remember her name now. Was it Linda in that? It might have been Linda.
Whatever. I don't. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I just looked it up. It's like 36 minutes in when the other people show up at the cabin.
A little less than half then. Okay. Yeah. I'll still call it the best half. I still think it's the best half for me. I kind of get why you have to have those other characters in. I don't need the exposition. Like, I don't care about that, but it is kind of fun to see other characters kind of walking into the situation just to be like murdered in some weird way. You're not going to take Ash and make him just a blood geyser from the basement. You need some weird hick for that. The blood geyser stuff is great. I will also say.
That's like the last thing with the hand where he's like, it's like crawling in the walls and he shoots it and you just, the bullet hole and you see the little thing of blood coming out and then it just turns into a fucking geyser. It just blasts Bruce Campbell in the face. That's so funny.
That shit's so good. There's the part where the hick gets like taken in by Henrietta and that turns into a geyser too. There's just so many good geyser
she's just
moments.
Like pulling on his legs and then suddenly it's just a fucking fountain of blood spewing out. And you're like, you should stop pulling on those legs.
Yeah.
You're not pulling him out.
Yeah.
He's more liquid than man now.
Yeah. Yeah, no, the blood geyser stuff is fantastic. So I'm really glad that they at least had one more blood geyser at some point, and that's what you needed. Sorry, hold on. That's what you needed.
You also get like a later section of like them like chopping up a deadite, but like, and its blood is green, and I'm just like, you've shown so much red blood already. Why does this? How can this possibly make a difference?
There's black blood too.
There is black blood, yeah.
There's not white blood though, interestingly.
Yeah.
Weird.
Maybe they got sick of the smell of milk.
His name is Jake. I had to look it up. Okay. Jake is the hick that dies.
I remember also, Bobby Joe, because he yells Bobby Joe so many fucking
Bobby
times.
Joe!
Bobby Joe!
Yeah, Bobby Joe is his girlfriend, I guess, wife of some, like, partner in some way.
Yeah.
Also, I just looked it up because I was interested, well, because I had to find out his name. Jake is played by a guy named Dan Hicks, who was in a whole bunch of other stuff that... like as little, I'm guessing he was friends with Sam at some point because this was his first movie as Jake. But then he was in a bunch of stuff like Darkman. He was in Spider-Man 2, a whole bunch of stuff he did. Oz the Great and Powerful. It's just like random characters. So that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
I like seeing that stuff. He unfortunately died in 2020 because of cancer. But anyways, yeah, that character sucks. But I'm glad he exists because we got Blood Geyser out of him. So super worth it.
We get the redo of that scene from Within the Woods of our heroine just stabbing a dude who is not possessed.
You're right, with the Kandarian dagger, which is now more like a machete than a dagger in this. Which is kind of interesting.
She fucking stabs him, and then she cannot figure out how to close the door with a man lying in it, and just keeps trying to bang it closed with his fucking body lying there.
You're right. Yeah, no, you're right. That is straight up from that movie.
Yeah.
Wow. I didn't realize that before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because when we watched Within the Woods, I definitely was like, I don't think this is an Evil Dead 1, but I fucking remember this happening. Of like, like another person like walking in late and just getting stabbed, even though, because this person's just so freaked out by the shit that is evil.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah, I didn't even put that together, but totally. That is totally taken from that. I really like seeing the stuff that he's learned shot wise come back again with like more budget and like maybe better timing for some stuff. Like he's not so quick to just pull out now. I guess I'm thinking specifically of after the possession happens and Ash is just kind of lying in the puddle looking up. It's like more of a slow pull up and it works a little bit better. I don't know. Dude's growing. We're seeing it happen every week as we watch a new movie in order. Except for Crimewave. That was you gotta fail sometimes. You gotta break.
Sometimes it doesn't come together.
Yeah.
The calibration is off.
Yeah. This was a big movie too. This is where they actually came up with the names for things. This is the first time they actually call it the Necronomicon and not just the Book of the Dead or the other like Latin version of it that they call it in the Evil Dead.
That intro at the beginning fucking rules.
Yeah, talking about what the book actually is. Seems it's kind of weird because the first movie almost was called Book of the Dead, but this is the only one that actually explains anything about the Book of the Dead.
Yeah.
But yeah, they call it the Necronomicon Ex Mortis specifically. So that's big. This is the first one that they use the term Deadite officially. And I think there was something else that I don't remember now. Oh, Kandarian. Castles of Kandar or whatever. This is the first time they call it a Kandarian demon.
Yes.
Or presence or something. This is the first time they have like kind of a name for it. So that exposition stuff, I guess, is kind of important, not only for if you want to set up a story or a timeline or any of that stuff, canon, if you will, but also just like merchandising in any way. Giving stuff names is pretty important. Like the Necronomicon. That's a pretty big
Yeah.
Pretty big name.
Well, and now you get the thing of like Ash being in the Necronomicon.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
With his blue shirt.
The blue shirt.
That's a standout to me from listening to commentaries for these movies. Was like for Army of Darkness, them like just complaining about the fucking blue shirt they had to put him in because they were pot committed to it.
Yeah,
like you guys could have changed it, but whatever.
That's actually so. The funny thing is the way Bruce talks about stuff in commentaries and stuff. When he brings up stuff like that, you just know the reason why it sticks with him is because there was probably fights or like a lot of like hubbub about that stuff. Because otherwise, why would he remember it, right? Like, why would he remember the blue shirt or make comment of it if there wasn't like, Sam and I argued for like 3 months about this. There was something dumb. Also, just the fact that there was like that story where one of his blue shirts was covered in so much fake blood that it shattered when it dried. Because they couldn't clean it anymore. It just turned into like candy. Which is disgusting. Like, that's so gross. I hate it. So cursed.
I need to take a shower now.
Yeah, I know. It's so fucking cursed. And yeah, we kind of get the reason why Annie's here. She knows, I guess, how to read Kandar or Kandarian or whatever. She's able to like somewhat translate the pages of the Book of the Dead and say the incantations, and because of that knows or reads how they can dispel the evil, which is a 2-step process of reading the incantations and making the evil of flesh and blood in their realm, and then opening a portal to essentially banish it out of their world. That's the idea.
They get the message from the professor in hell or whatever, his like spirit. Message.
I forgot about that. That whole part is not something I remembered happening. So rewatching it, I was like, holy shit.
Yeah. Save my soul.
Yeah. Oh, man. Yeah, I forgot that whole part. And of course, they need the pages that were scattered by not Jake, but the other one, thrown into the cellar with Henrietta. And that's kind of where we get the Ash I think most people know. Well, no, the Ash most people know is from Army of Darkness, because that movie hit a cult status that is unreal when people talk about these movies.
Yeah.
The Ash I remember mostly, I guess, of being decked out with a sawed-off shotgun and actually having like the chainsaw banded to his stump on his arm.
Yeah.
That's the Ash like I kind of remember. And like that all comes about because they're going to have to go in and get the pages. So he kind of gets like battle ready, essentially.
It's Ash like, going full Ripley at the end of Alien. He's like into action hero mode now.
Yeah, get away from her, you bitch. Only in this movie, it's groovy. Is the thing. That scene is great, I'll say too. Yeah. I forgot that he has help from her to do it. I kind of remember that as him doing it alone. But yeah, she helps him kind of like get the banding and belts together to like help stabilize his arm with the thing on it, and the like little thing for the pull cord, so he just has to like move his arm down fast to start it. Yeah, honestly, just ingenious. And it reminds me of listening to the Crimewave commentary and Bruce just being like, Sam likes his gadgets or whatever. It's like he must have loved coming up with this.
Oh yeah.
And for good reason. It's iconic now. When you think of Ash, you probably think of this scene, right?
Yeah.
Of him like putting it together, putting his stump on, starting it up, and just being like groovy. That's the scene.
I mean, in the second half of the movie, that's the memorable thing.
That's the scene.
Like basically, other than like the name Bobby Joe getting burned into your brain because he yelled so many times.
Because he won't shut up. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. It's weird how nothing kind of happens in the cellar. Like, he gets the pages pretty cleanly, and nothing happens until the end when he's leaving, which is kind of funny.
They don't set up the basement as having as an actual place as much.
No,
even though he goes deeper and he finds the pages in places that don't make any sense, but
like hidden or something,
like under shit.
Yeah, there's like a corpse down there too.
Yeah,
or a skeleton. It's not even a full corpse, really.
Yeah.
It's weird because in that area is definitely just the dungeon where the monster lives now, and it's not like a place that matters. Otherwise.
Yeah.
The way their fight is pretty great. The way she just like pulls his legs to trip him through the stairs and then pulls him under. It's just silly. Just a silly fight.
Yes.
And yeah, she starts the incantation. I gotta be honest, I completely forgot that it's just a giant tree monster that it forms.
It's just a big face.
I forgot all about it. Yeah, I didn't remember this at all. Did you? Did you remember that like giant face on the tree arm?
Yeah.
All that.
Wow. Well, the thing that's burned into my brain is him sticking the chainsaw into its eye slit.
Okay, sure. I don't remember that at all either.
The shot that's burned into my brain.
Okay, yeah, that isn't for me. The shot that's burned into my brain is the Oldsmobile being sucked into the vortex, and then obviously him following after. But not anything before that with the monster.
Sure. Okay.
Yeah.
I think. I think that's all they show in Army of Darkness. I don't think they show the monster again. So
maybe.
They might. I really don't remember.
I haven't rewatched Army of Darkness yet for our talks here. So
yeah, sure.
I guess we'll find out.
Yeah, totally.
I also remember.
I also don't remember.
Yeah.
Because I know they redo a bunch of that stuff too. So
yeah, pretty. This is gonna sound dismissive, but I mean, pretty standard end to the horror movie. Like, big thing is happening. You think the main character that's fixing it is dead, and then with her last breath, she finishes the spell or what? I don't know. I guess.
I mean, it's pretty good that Ash's hand actually comes back to fucking stab her. That's pretty good.
No, it's good. And I know I'm saying this in 2022 and not 1987 when this came out. But I'm just saying that this has been done a lot. That's all I'm saying. I'm sure at the time this might have even been new, like a new idea or something. Because
I mean, your overall thing of the first 30 minutes being way better is I'm 100% on board. That part is just way more memorable.
And whatever, Evil Dead is one of the most it's like a movie maker's fucking series. It's movie maker porn. It's dumb horror movie schlock porn. Movie makers love this shit. I'm sure a lot of people took inspiration from how Raimi did this ending for their stuff. Whatever, it's fine. It's just rewatching it again. It's oh, this is a little trope-ish, I guess. I know it's unfair. I'm just saying.
It's also unfair. The doing some bullshit to actually defeat the evil is the weakest part of horror movies, just generally.
Totally. Which is why it's so great that this movie doesn't actually end with the defeat of evil, but rather kind of the defeat of the good guys, honestly, in a lot of ways. So I think the Middle Ages part, where he gets sucked in, I think this might be the first time they actually use the word Deadite. I think this is from Army of Darkness characters.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Which makes sense.
The people in the past are the ones who call them the Deadites.
Yeah. So I can't remember how I felt. Like, you know how people say, where were you when JFK was shot or when we landed on the moon or whatever? Where were you when a bunch of knights came out of nowhere to surround Ash because of the portal he went through? I don't remember how I felt the first time watching this, if I was like, what the fuck? Or if I was excited or whatever. But there is more to the intro of Army of Darkness at the end of this movie than I remembered, is what I'll say.
Yeah.
I kind of thought it ended with him going through the portal and then falling into the alternate past or whatever is going on there, looking into the distance and screaming no.
Yeah.
So
I mean, you get the one part of it being set up with there's a page in the Necronomicon with Ash with his chainsaw.
I don't remember that.
When they say the hero that defeated the Deadites in the past, it's a little drawing of that final shot, but it's it's Ash in his blue shirt with his chainsaw raised. That's in there. It's 100% set up. But it's like easy to miss.
Okay, sure.
Yeah, it's just a good ending of just like, like it, you know, him going like, oh God, how do you stop it? To just being like in a completely different kind of fucked up situation. Like, I don't know. It's like, he's just so fucking cursed.
Yeah.
The fact that they're all cheering for him as the hero after he shotguns fucking evil, and he's just like, fucking no.
Yeah, like, no. What do they say? Something like, hail the hero from the skies, sent to save us from the Deadites or whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah, so, it's something like that anyway.
And they redo all that stuff for Army of Darkness, I remember. But
it's a really, really good ending.
It's it's way more creative a version of, oh, you didn't beat the evil than you get in most horror movies.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Like who like they spent the money on like getting the fucking dudes in armor running around. Just like wholly different kind of set from what they had before for this one bit. For like our post-credit scene or whatever. That's how our movie ends.
Yeah, no, it's fantastic. It's so good.
Just like the color of it is all different. It's all washed out, dusty. After we've been in the fucking sweaty woods.
Yeah, I watched the remastered version of this also. They cleaned it up really good. Maybe to the point where a lot of stuff looked schlockier because of it, but that kind of adds to the charm for me. Like, I don't think the blood maybe was as noticeable in every scene on a VHS tape on a CRT TV. Like, perhaps it was a little more color corrected due to it being on physical media and not like digitally cleaned HD versions.
Totally.
Yeah, man, it's so good. Do you want to hear a couple just funny things that I read about this?
Sure, totally.
The rat in the cellar that we see, apparently the crew called him Sir Cojones, or Senor Cojones, which is senior testicles, essentially. Cojones, Spanish for testicles. I don't know why that tickled me. I thought that was hilarious. I laughed really hard, and I don't know why. I guess it's because I'm a child. So the budget for this movie was $3.5 million. It made $10.9 million at the box office, so it was
resounding success. And we kind of talked about this in the last episode. The reason this movie kind of exists is because Crimewave failed so amazingly that they were told by their publicist, Shapiro, you got to get back on that Evil Dead thing. You have people talking about it. Stephen King likes it. And when Stephen King heard that this project was coming around or whatever, he kind of got them in touch with somebody, with one of the dudes who helped make one of his movies, and like it kind of started the ball rolling for them again. Like this literally
De Laurentiis?
Was. Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
I don't remember what he did though, which one he did, but he did a movie either with Stephen King or for one of his books. That kind of
they made Maximum Overdrive together.
Oh, really? That's okay. I thought it was a bigger movie. Okay, well, I mean, fair enough. It was. I mean, you know what? Actually, that makes sense.
Well, I think Stephen King was making Maximum Overdrive at the time. I think Dino De Laurentiis had also worked with him, and he like helped with that. I think he'd worked with Stephen King on some stuff before that too.
Yeah,
I don't remember though, because I know like he had like this whole Dino De Laurentiis is like a super producer who had like a whole production company set up.
Yeah. It's what Raimi needed, like for sure.
I think Dead Zone was the first one they did, and he did Cat's Eye and Silver Bullet.
I mean, regardless, he had the money and backing, and this is kind of their shtick, right? Like this is kind of the stuff he was doing is horror type stuff. Mm-hmm. And apparently, like this, as we were kind of talking about before, this was originally going to be Army of Darkness, like the medieval follow-up to Evil Dead or whatever. And it was them who was like, you should really like make it similar to the first one, because the first one was good. People like things that are similar or like things that they know. So especially after Crimewave failed so spectacularly, I think nobody wanted to really take a chance with something new.
Yeah.
It feels like it's like you got to do a Hail Mary play here. Like we're in the fourth. You got to get like that point back or whatever before people believe in you again. So yeah, that's where this movie came about. That it definitely, I know it's a silly movie. It's definitely sillier than I remember. I'll even say in a lot of ways. I think it just works really well, and it's also reined in, I think, properly here too. It doesn't go...
Army of Darkness is only going to get sillier.
Army of Darkness, I mean, I'll just make the prediction. I'll say it right here. I think Army of Darkness, in my memory, is the worst one out of the three.
I feel that way.
But, I mean... We'll see if that holds up. I remember always being a little like aghast when people say that it's their favorite, because I don't understand why. I don't hate it also. I like Army of Darkness, but I think it's like a solid 6 or 7, where these are like 9s and 10s.
Yeah, it's a little too like just silly for me. Like, because the thing with Evil Dead 2 hits a sweet spot of just being very entertaining, and the ties are so high. Like the things that it does that like stick in my brain forever, like, which is like a lot of it happens in the first 30 minutes of the movie, but they fucking live there, and it makes it like, you know, not my favorite horror movie, but definitely one of my favorites.
Sure. I'll talk about one more thing that I think you might find interesting if you don't already know it, and if you do, maybe people listening will find it interesting. Do you know what the inspiration and a lot of the stuff about the hand is based on?
I have no
the possessed
idea.
hand. So Scott Spiegel, back in the early days, friends with Sam Raimi, for people who don't remember or whatever, and I think actually Sam Raimi starred in it or whatever. He did a short film years and years before this, when they were younger, called Attack of the Helping Hand.
and it is a short film about a woman who is making some hamburger helper. Do you know what hamburger helper is?
I do.
Okay, for people that maybe don't, just because of like regional things or whatever, hamburger helper is basically boxed ingredients that you mix with beef to create kind of like a full meal. And the important part is the logo is the helping hand, the hamburger helper helping hand, which is a hand with like a face or whatever. That's kind of jovial. She puts the box on the counter, turns away, and the helping hand comes out of nowhere from it and tries to kill her.
Mm-hmm. Where's my Glover horror movie?
Yeah, man. This is what I'm talking about. So I just found it funny that like the inspiration for that is one of their buddies, I think, who is also maybe a producer or something on this. Mm-hmm. What did Spiegel do in this, if anything?
I think he co-wrote it.
Yeah, you're right. He's a writer. He co-wrote. That was all inspired by a short film he did based on the hamburger helper hand trying to kill like the housewife or whatever.
Perfect.
Like, okay.
Whatever, it's a good bit.
It's a good bit.
Look,
it's also making me see.
I love Thing from the Addams Family.
Oh my God. It's on YouTube. Attack of the Helping Hand.
Oh no.
It's a 6-minute short. I think I'll watch it later.
Okay.
You can actually see what's happening in it too. Why didn't they get him to make It's Murder? You can actually see things in this. Anyways.
Maybe he just took better care of his fucking old movie.
Yeah, he actually put it in like a box instead of, I don't know, a bucket of water for 20 years or something. I don't know what the fuck Sam did, but...
Oh, Sam was just letting out fucking geysers of blood all through his place, and then his old movies got ruined.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, that's kind of all I have to say about this movie. I think it still holds up fantastically, and my prediction of, I think maybe this might be higher in my esteem than the first one, actually didn't hold true. I think this is funner to watch. I think there's things to really, really like about this movie. But for me, it's just the spunkiness of a group of friends going out into the woods, making a horror movie, and like some cool shots, and just kind of, I don't know. There's something about the first one that is just so hard to beat for me. So I think this is still a solid number 2 in my recollection.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, I like Evil Dead 2 more just because it hits higher highs for me. But
yeah.
Like Evil Dead 1 is more a horror movie and Evil Dead 2 is more of a horror comedy. So yeah, I kind of draw the distinction there as much as anything.
I think
it's just like those like psychological moments and like just the shit with the hand. Like I'm just always going to be a sucker for a character having to cut off their own limb in a fantasy story like this.
Sure. I mean,
you give it to me like in a reality thing. Like, no, I don't want that. But in you give me Wolverine cutting off his own arm. Fucking give it to me every time.
Yeah. If you hate hands as much as Sam Raimi does, boy, do I have a movie for you.
I love Star Wars.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we live in a world where you can have your cake and eat it too, because both these movies exist. And most times, I think you can just buy them physically with like both of them on one disc, or like, why not?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So I think it's pretty obvious where we're going to go next time. Next time we talk, we will be watching and talking about the follow-up to this, Army of Darkness, because it only makes sense to.
Hell yes.
Yeah.
Medieval Dead.
The Medieval Dead. I think that's what it was originally going to be called.
Yes.
Yeah. It's kind of the better name, but I get
it's a better name.
I get why they didn't do it for marketing reasons, but it's the better name.
I mean, it's also ridiculous it doesn't have Evil Dead in the title.
Yeah. Yep. All right. Well, we'll see you then.
Peace.